Hello everyone. You should have read this text for recounts, the key facts and the model text, and hopefully you should have answered these questions. If you've not, then go back and do that now because we're going to go through the answers. So recounts are a type of text, a non-fiction text, which are retelling events, okay? And there's lots of different types of recounts that we can have. So one of these is the example here, a newspaper report, where it's telling about an event that's happened in the news. But it can also include diary entries. It could include an autobiography or a biography, a retelling of someone's life. It might be a personal story. So, for example, when we wrote about the refugee and the girl who escaped from the place where she was working, that was a recount. It was a personal story. It might be my first holiday, my school trip. All of those kinds of things are recounts as well. So lots of different types of recount. Although specific types of recount might have different features. So for example, a diary entry would specifically have some features such as thoughts and feelings, opinions, etc. In general, if we're thinking about the features of all recounts, these are the key ones. So it uses time connectives or time conjunctions to show that you're moving on to the next part of the story. First, then, sometime later, eventually, finally, next. They're always written in the past tense because it's already happened. And it's also written in chronological order. Now, I've done the recount features for you. So I said the purpose is to retell events or experiences in the past, and it aims to inform or entertain. So it's either telling people about an event, or it might be just trying to entertain them with the telling of an event. People might be reading it for their own entertainment. Key features: past tense, time conjunctions, chronological order, which means telling in the order it happened. And they are normally written in first or third person, depending on the type of recount. A diary entry or a personal story would be first person. A newspaper report would be third person. And then I've written the different types of recount there, so you can put that on that poster. So that needs to go on your non-fiction text type poster. So this should be the last box. And now when you've done, you should have finished the whole poster. Okay, if you want, then you can take a picture of that and share it with us on Seesaw so we can see what it looks like, but you don't have to. Okay, so we read the text all about the python escaping, and now we're going to look at the question. So, what had escaped from its cage? The answer you should have is, oh, the light's not very good, a mountain python. That's what escaped. Please be specific. In the questions, in the checkpoint, they are looking for specific answers. Just saying a snake is not getting you the mark. You needed to write a mountain python. What instructions were given to the police? If we look up here, we have to find the word police and instructions. Right, here we've got it. Local police were given instructions on how to corner the snake if anyone reported a sighting. So I've written how to corner the snake if it was spotted. Number 3. How do you think the school children felt when they thought they saw the stripy creature, and why? Okay, so here you needed to justify your answer. So you could have said the school children might have felt terrified because they are scared of snakes and they were worried it was going to attack them. They might have felt excited because they'd never seen a snake before, and maybe it meant the newspaper team or the zoo were going to come round to their school. Maybe they felt fascinated as this was a brand new creature that they'd never seen and they didn't know what it was going to do. Okay, so as long as you've written clearly what emotion they might be feeling and explained why, maybe you've written a couple of emotions. The author used the term slivery to describe the snake. Think of 3 other words to describe the python. So you needed 3 adjectives, 3 describing words. So you could have had stripy. We've obviously got slivery. If we have a look and see what it's like, maybe we might have said scaly. Maybe you might have said slippery. You might have talked about its body. So you might have said long, twisting, curving, winding. Maybe you said large because it was very big. Maybe you might have said something like sneaky or sinister. It doesn't matter as long as it's an adjective which would clearly describe this snake. Number 5, what tense is the article written in and why? Okay, as we know, recounts are in the past tense. So I've written here, in the past tense, because the incident has already happened and the snake has now been found. Okay, so this is over. The snake is not still escaped. It escaped yesterday or whenever it was, and it's now been found. Recounts are always in the past tense. I've just put that there to back up my answer. And then finally, it says, sorry about the lighting, guys, write down 3 connecting words or phrases that show the passage of time in this recount, okay? So 3 words or phrases which are showing how time is moving on. So normally there's 1 in each paragraph. So if we read the first paragraph, the zookeepers first noticed it was missing at dawn. So we could have had first, or you could have also had at dawn, because that was when it happened, at dawn. Then it says early in the day, the local school reported a possible sighting. Early in the day, that's when it happened. Okay, residents in nearby homes then thought they'd seen something slivery. They then thought, this is what happened next. In the end, the zoo found the python in the farm area. In the end, this is the last thing that happened. So the answers you should have had were at dawn, early in the day, then, and in the end. If you didn't have one of those, 3 of those 4, then please add them in now. Okay, so you should have marked your answers, given them a tick, and if you got anything wrong, you need to add it. And then you're going to write this onto your information poster. And finally, in your when you take a picture of this work and upload it to Seesaw, so you're going to have to take 2 pictures of your work. And then you have here, if you read the writing challenge number 2, this is what you're going to be doing in a comment on your post, okay? So it says, write a short and simple recount of something that happened in your life during the last week. So, for example, on Saturday morning, a 10-year-old boy from some town went swimming at the local pool. It says, remember to use past tense and conjunctions, connectives. But remember, journalists often exaggerate to make a newspaper article more exciting. So you can also do this. So then they've written a more exaggerated version here. In the early hours of Saturday morning, a 10-year-old boy from Sometown made the terrifying journey to his local swimming pool in order to brave the icy waters. He was alone. Whoops. So you need to do that when you are posting your comment. So you could say something like, Miss Payne, a teacher from Porto, dared the freezing cold morning frost of Portugal and went for a run along the seafront. She was attacked by water, but she persevered nonetheless. Okay, you only need to write maybe 2 sentences, and you're going to write that as a comment on your Seesaw post. So when you post a picture of your work that you did today, the questions, you then need to comment with your 2 sentences of your newspaper report for the day. Okay, so something that's happened to you in the past week, you can make it up if you would like to. Just 2 sentences as a comment on your post of your question answers. Okay? Any problems, just ask us. Have a good day.